This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are excited to have Lois Hermann joining us here today, and she is, founder, Energy Clearing and Alignment at Academy of Light. She's an author and host, Inspiring Hope, Metaphysical Hypnotist, and so much more. So, Lois Hermann, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here just to shine the light. My new symbol is the lighthouse because there are so many storms going on around us right now. And my team and I have an opportunity to help people to stabilize through all of the chaos that's going on. And I really wanted to take the time today to offer some ideas about how to stay steady in the middle of everything that's going on in our world, because that's what we do, what we offer.
Thank you. Well, let's talk a little bit about some positive energy, right? Because we got challenging times happening all around, right? You just look at the news, what's happening in the world, challenging, right?
Yes.
And let's try to maintain a positivity, right? So let's talk about this. You know, a lot of people around the world feel overwhelmed right now by everything that's happening. And we can talk about some of those specifics if you want. But why do sensitive or intuitive people really feel this really strongly?
Well, oftentimes people feel broken, that there's something wrong with them. And what it is they're just more sensitive. So in addition to feeling their own 5, 6 senses, because they have that intuitive sense, they're picking up on the vibrational energy, the frequency of fear, of worry, all of this stuff that's going on around the world. They're picking up on that heavy, dense feeling. This is not something that's wrong with them. This is a barometer that says, oh, I'm an empath. This is a gift in a way. And yet so many empaths are not trained what to do with this gift, how to protect this gift, how to control it, how to manage it. And it can really get overwhelming.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you're feeling? Just curious.
Well, right now, following the news, and years ago, I was a busy single mom working full time, and I did not follow the news. I was trusting that everything was going to be taken care of. And then for the past 6 years, my eyes were opened, and I thought, you know what? I need to start paying closer attention to what is going on in our world. However, when we start paying attention, it's very difficult to see and discern what is truth and what is someone's agenda. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So what I've learned to do is to factor in what is important to learn and gain the nuggets from it without diving deep into the details. Because when we start reading about all of the horrific details of what's going on, those of us that are empaths are feeling with and for all of this.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on just in the news. And then there's also the social media interaction, because we've got people that are in various different camps, and they get very emphatic, and it really can be derailing to people when our family and friends are somewhat caustic about their attitudes. So then the empath then shuts down even more, and it creates even more stress in our energy field. And we as empaths, we absorb it all and don't quite know what to do with it. So what we have to be aware of is we're the canary in the cave. We are the ones that are very sensitive to all of the energy that's going on around us. And what we have to do is just learn some tools to be able to manage it so that we can shine our light. And that's what's the most important. An empath is typically a higher vibrational person, and their goal here on this planet, they have chosen to be here at this time. And their real mission is to help shine the light, to bring the light of peace. And it's really challenging in this crazy world right now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And would you say for someone listening right now, feeling a little drained, maybe discouraged, what are, some simple things they could do to kind of reset this energy, if you don't mind?
Sure. So what we have to look at is we can't fix the whole world.
Yep, true.
So we have to start by stabilizing the energy within our own self, our own
Mm-hmm.
space. Because on the Hawkins scale, the map of consciousness, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, one
No.
person vibrating at a high level, I'm going to just say even 6 to 700, can affect, just by being themselves,
Okay.
they can affect the energy of so many people who are vibrating at a really low level of fear, anger, guilt, shame. So it's important for us to maintain our high vibe because we are directly and indirectly shifting the energy of people around us. So that's why it's really important to learn how to do this. And of course, we start with protection every
Of
morning,
course, of course.
sacred space, setting an intention, that simple sacred space exercise. And if people need a sacred space exercise, they can just go to my website, loisherman.com, and download it. Right, it's free on the front page, on the home page. There's
Great.
an exercise that you can download and use it every day just to start your day with the intention of this is going to be a good day. One of my favorite sayings is, something good will come of this. In spite of what all is going on, if we can hold the energy of something good is going to come of this, even though we don't know what it is, it helps to
Yeah.
shift our energy, right?
So it does, absolutely. And let me ask, to reset your energy, sometimes it takes more than just sleep, right? I mean,
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
sleep does it to me. I got my coffee, helps me do it. And other things to reset. Meditation, right? Is that one of the things we've talked about before? And
Yes.
what about for those that say, well, I don't do any of those? Anything else they could do?
Sure. And it is important to stay informed. It's important. We can't be putting our head in the sand. We've got to be aware of what's going on around us. However, we have to also choose where we get our information.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find is I like to listen to the people who have experienced things
Okay.
instead of listening to narrative driven sources because you don't know what the agenda is.
Yeah.
So I like to search out people who are speaking from real experience. Like for right now, there's so many people that are talking about what they experienced in the stuff going on in the Middle East. So listening to the people, it's the people
Yeah.
that make a difference. And then step away. Once you get some information, the key is to reduce the exposure to stressful media, people, places, any of that. Take the information in small, controlled
Okay.
doses, and then remove yourself.
Okay.
For every minute of toxic exposure, for everything that you've read, balance it
Mm-hmm.
with 3 minutes of positive to reframe, reset your mindset. So for every minute of toxic or sad, mad, angry feeling news that you're feeling, take 3 minutes and find something to give you joy, to shift your energy. You can go outside. My cats love to lay in the sunshine.
How many cats you
Find that
have? How
one
many?
little
How many?
beam, right? That one little beam of light, and they'll lay in the sunshine. We need to take a cue from them. Go outside, get some sun on your face and your eyes, breathe the fresh air, listen to the birds. It's something that simple that'll reset connecting with nature. You don't have to do fancy meditative exercises. Just escape from the media, escape from the information, and reset with nature is one of my favorite things to do.
Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. And you've worked with so many people, so many clients over the years. Have you seen people totally transform their outlook just by learning, like, to manage their energy?
Yes. For instance, one client who came to me was just overwhelmed by the world events. Reading about it had consumed her, both her time and her energy. And, as a hypnotist, a lot of people are having
Mm-hmm.
media addiction. And we all get stuck on our phones and in the different things that we're looking at. And we have to learn to take a pause from it.
Okay.
Well, this client started feeling very depressed, lethargic, fearful, and was very easily agitated. She
Mm-hmm.
really just lost the essence of herself.
Wow.
And the Anquietus we haven't really talked about the Chronicles much yet. We will at some point. The Theon creators who came through in this amazing series of channeled events said that fear causes sickness to humans.
Wow.
To be healthy, one must drink in the light, which means you drink in the light of positive energy. Or, like I said, go out in the sunshine, get some sun on your skin to shift your energy. So once we did some clearing work to clear her energy, we then helped to teach her how to take control of her mental meanderings, because we have to be balanced on what I call the MEPS, all four levels: your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. You can't just do energy clearing on your physical space.
Yeah.
You've got to do mental, emotional, and spiritual as well. So what we have to do is learn how to clear what is causing the disturbance and then shift into what do we want to achieve. So helping her to develop the skill of staying in the know without letting the intel derail her mission, so that she
Wow.
can bring her own level of peace. There's not somebody going to save you or rescue you. We have to do this for ourselves. It's so, so important.
Got it. Thank you for that. And also, would you say, how does creating sacred space help people during these times?
Well, sacred space is one of those wonderful tools, just for more than anything, to set the intention. Just before I even came on here, I set sacred space for myself, and I asked my guides to speak through me so that I'm coming from a place of high level integrity,
Mm-hmm.
honesty, with pure intention. And it is amazing how that transforms our life. When we are mindful of setting space with intention, our lives transform. Yes, we're exposed to so much. We're exposed to so many people who have no spiritual foundation,
Wow. Yeah.
and they are really suffering. They're in fear, they're in anger,
Mm-hmm.
they're in blame and shame. And those people
Yep.
tend to not have a whole lot of filter, and they
Mm-mm.
can really spew all of their stuff on people. What we have to learn to do is to deflect it. So the sacred space kind of puts up a protective bubble, a deflector shield of sorts, to deflect off that negativity that's just floating around everywhere around us. So when we set our own sacred space with intention, we stabilize our own energy, and we
Beautiful.
naturally become a source of calm for people around us. We take control. And this is not about being selfish, it is being self-caring. We're in a state of awareness, responding rather
Yep.
than reacting to external sources. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you. Absolutely. And you mentioned the sacred space, right? And
Yeah.
can we all make our own sacred space before we start something? What should I be doing? Our listeners, just to tune in today, what are some things that can get them into their own space?
You simply pause and sit there. I like to put my feet on the ground wherever I'm at. I oftentimes will imagine roots connecting to Mother Gaia. Where I live and where you are, Jill, we still have snow-covered ground out there, so it's a little hard to go out and ground. Although I do have a friend who goes out in the snow in her bare feet and grounds, but she's rare.
Really
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
Int-
So we can ground just by visualizing our
mm-hmm.
feet grounding into our favorite place in nature. We can visualize being at the beach, smelling the
Hmm.
sound, the beautiful fresh air, listening to the birds or the sound of the waves, if that's our pleasure. Or we can imagine being in a beautiful meadow or a forest, wherever we feel the safest. We can imagine being there for this moment in time, because nature is our most precious protector and our best reset, especially for empaths. Getting away from people and into nature is one of the best secrets. And it's very simple. So just closing your eyes and imagining being in your very favorite place and asking Mother Gaia to put a wall of light around you, a bubble of light, if you will, with a shiny reflective coating, and setting the intention that everything that you do for this day is for the highest good of yourself and for others. How can I bring the light? How can I be stable? Inviting your guides to be with you, to be that stable, that rock, that lighthouse, and shine the light for others who are ready to see it. Many people are walking around in blindness and we
Yep.
can't help them. That's the other big thing with an empath. We cannot and we're not supposed to help everyone. We can only be of service to those who are ready on their journey. I'm sure you've heard that before.
No, absolutely. Thank you for that. All right. And then also, we have more time, but I want to talk about the listeners and
Yeah.
what would you want them to, start to do when they're feeling out of touch, overwhelmed, and a little crazy, right?
Yeah, it is a little crazy out there. And from what I understand, it's going to get worse. And it has been going on for
Yeah.
so many years, really. One of the things that I did almost 6 years ago, I started, if those of you who are interested, a Telegram channel. I find that that
Oh.
is somewhat of a free, it's a little bit more honest news, although you
Mm-hmm.
still have to be discerning. Again, I will balance information that I get from trusted sources with positive information so that you're getting a little bit of a dose of news plus positive, how to align your chakras, how to talk to your guides, all those little nuggets we give. And my team and I both, it's Lois, Hermann, and Associates. If you're our Telegram follower, we also have a TikTok. So many little nuances on TikTok, and that's inspiring hope on TikTok. But the goal is to always start with protection. Always start
Yeah.
with protection and then learn discernment. And the way you learn discernment is be your own barometer. If it feels off to you, it is off. Trust yourself.
So
So
true.
learning discernment, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't listen to it, turn it off. And even being around certain family members or friends that they used to be friends, but there's been such a divide right now. What we have to do is be cautious about who is draining our energy and who is supporting and encouraging our energy so that we use
Mm-hmm.
discernment as to who we allow ourselves to be around. And then we can empower ourselves to be our best self at any time. But
Perfect.
protection, healing, empowerment. That's what Archangel Michael gave me years ago, and it's a really simple recipe. The biggest challenge is learning how to use it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. We still got 5 more minutes. So, what else do you want
Yeah,
to make sure we cover for today? This is pretty good stuff. If you're out there
yeah.
listening.
Well, and again, just to reiterate, we can't always control what's happening around us, yet we can learn how to respond to it,
Yep.
not react, respond. And we do that by taking a breath,
Yep.
going into our sacred space, connecting with our divine guides, and we'll have I'll do a whole show with you on discernment for guides because many people are praying to false guides, unaware, and they need to really know that this guide can be trusted. Once you know who your
Yep.
guide is, like you with your mother, you know that
Mm-hmm.
she's there loving you, supporting you. You can trust the information coming from her versus
Absolutely.
someone who is in a bad state and they're communicating with a relative that's draining their energy. So we have to be discerning, learn discernment so that we can be stable in ourselves. That's key.
Got it. Thank you. Gives me goosebumps and chills. And yeah, for those that have passed that are around us, that they're with us, and I hope you all know that, right? And we discussed that a lot last time. But that's another thing, right? We always want to know what happens on the other side. Where do we go? Where are our loved ones? What do you tell people?
That we can help you
Hmm.
to discern. So a lot of people will go to a medium that tells them what they're seeing. Our team helps you see your mother and communicate with your mother or whomever yourself so that you become the medium because our goal is to help you to communicate regularly with your trusted guides. So instead of being dependent on somebody else for the
Yeah.
information, we like to empower you to get clear information for yourself, for your life.
Mm,
They're
thank
really
you.
there.
That's
They're just
amazing.
in another state. Like they moved to Alaska. We can't see them, but that doesn't.
Oh, you broke up. You said Alaska. Say it again. Hello?
I said,
There you go. There you go. I'm like, no.
you could see. Okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
It's okay.
So it's like I often will say when someone has passed over, they have moved to another state of being. It's as if they've moved to Alaska. We can't see them, yet we know they're still there. So
Yep.
they're just at a different vibrational frequency. And if they're in a happy, good space, they will go into that higher level frequency. If when they died, they were mad, sad, or angry, the challenge is that they are maybe in a low vibrational state, still earthbound and draining your energy. That's the big difference. So the goal is to help them to be
Yep.
in the best place. And if
Yep.
they're in a good place, they can help us.
Perfectly said. And to get in a good place, to stay that way with all this is going on in the world. I mean, and here we are, another war. I mean, that drains us. It drains the economy. It's draining everyone on every decision we make, every move we make, and then you have, tragedies that are happening every day we don't hear about, but then you have the whole Nancy Guthrie case that the world's watching, unfortunately or fortunately, because it's a celebrity's mother, but this is happening every day in the world, and, she's not unique in a sense. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but and then you feel bad for the other people who don't have that attention, and even now that they're getting all this attention because of who they are, and offering $1 million still doesn't mean you're going to get answers, But it also makes you more aware when you hear this stuff in the news, like, the world, as much as we love and trust, you got to be very careful still, Not everyone has our values. Not everyone believes in love and peace and kindness. And so we do have to be on guard a little bit, right? And we don't want to let that guard down. And in someone like yourself or me, like, you can, when you walk into an elevator, it's kind of uncomfortable. There's always like this, but you could sense the people around you.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite way of and normally if it's okay, you could tell they're just shy and then I make a joke and I get to see, but the ones that are just really like this, but I feel like that's like a great test. What do you think about being in an elevator? I just have to ask.
I agree. Being in the elevator, you can sense, and you just smile at somebody, how they respond to a smile. Because smile is a beautiful, contagious energy, a positive, contagious energy. And if somebody just pulls away from you and doesn't make eye contact, that gives you a clue right there. Because if somebody can't look you in the eye, then what are they hiding? It's really important to be able to look someone in the eye and smile from heart to heart. That smile is a heart message.
It really is. All right, thank you. And to leave off today, how did you want to leave off with everyone? We still got 2 minutes, sweetie. Not rushing you.
Wow. We go through a lot in a short period of time. And stay informed, yet be informed. Listen to both sides. Be open-minded. Discern for yourself and not parrot something that you have heard over and over again. There are so many things that are being said that people are just buying as truth when they're really not truth, because not everybody, as you're saying, not everybody has a level of peace and integrity. There are agendas that we're not seeing. What we need to do is use our own interpretation to discern for ourselves what is good for us, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's really critical.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. All right. How can we reach you, sweetheart?
LoisHermann.com.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And spell that for us?
LOIS, and Hermann is HERMANN.com. The website is new and fresh, and I'm so excited. And it is full of shows and blogs and so much information for you to keep yourself positive, your energy strong.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. As always, you are just a gem. Bring a lot of light to the show, and we will be meeting again shortly, okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you, sweetheart. To all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.